You could probably, make assumptions who that was. Can you feel the vibe? Yeah, you can probably make an assumption. But I'm not here to make fun of people. I'm actually here to redo the video that I made the other night. I might actually still post that one, but I actually want to elaborate on it more. As a matter of fact, go on a tangent that I didn't get to go into because I wasn't thinking about it. But I feel like it'll be a really good perspective to put on my channel for my sake and for people who listen. And also, it would be, just a lot more convenient message, a lot shorter, a lot more understandable. So I guess I'll say it like this. In the time we're at now, in the time that we're in now, crap is moving so fast. So much is happening in this rapid movement as well. It's honestly, it feels impossible to really try to keep up with it, like to be in the know, to try to stay on top of it, to try to stay, especially like when you look at it from the two different perspectives, you look at it from, the consumer perspective, you know, things are going to crap when it comes to the physical, a lot of stores, shops, places, functions, they're not really operating how they normally do. When you look at the internet, so when you look at it socially, or I guess you like digitally, whatever, people are like all over the place with their opinions, with their mindset, with the words that they're saying. I guess even with their intent, like where their concern is, where their attention is at the moment. A lot of people are still nonchalantly, brushing off the BS, which I don't blame, because a lot of look. Let me slow down. A lot of what's happening this year, it's just like, I could understand if you don't care about it at this point, where you're tuning it out and you're ready for the next year. I said it as a joke, by the way. All my people on my IG, I'm not just giving up. That's kind of, or at least that's the message I got from my own little story. So I guess I want to clarify that for anybody who did see that, where I'm just saying 2020 already over, 2021, where you at? Like, it's just jokes, bro, because when you really look at this year, bro, so much has happened in this 1 year alone. And there's probably been more than what's happened in the past 3. It feels like it's ridiculous. Like, it got my perception of time messed up right now. I'm just gonna say that. But I guess the best way I could put this on, without me rambling on too much, make sure in this time, especially of all times, because I've been trying to stress this for a little minute now, but I feel like at least at this time, the amount of time that I've had to think and ponder and really calculate my next move, musically, financially, whatever. Stand on your own, bro. Or okay, wait. This is what I mean. I gotta choose my words carefully. When it comes to your mindset, when it comes to what you're thinking about, do you, bro? Because at the end of the day, what's happening now, whatever's taking place is going to be going in a specific direction regardless, because it seems like at first I'm over here, they got me. I was caught with this whole Black Lives Matter movement crap, and not even just the Black Lives Matter thing, just protests in general, bro. People are actually, taking action for something. They're actually standing up for something, which is amazing. But the timing, now this is my other complaint. It's like there's always something. If it's not one thing, it's the other. Like I said, it's amazing, but the timing is unusual. I'm gonna use my big vocab words. It's very unusual, only because I'm not even gonna say we. Whenever these events started taking place, it's crazy how there was a flip. There was like an instantaneous reaction. Normally, whenever crap like this happens, of course, it's not going to be to this extreme, because a lot of people just take it to social media. But since we took it to the streets, it's interesting to see how law enforcement reacts, people react, government officials react, and a lot of the reactions are just, it just comes from the fact that we're messing up, the day-to-day right now, which is, I guess, revolutionary, but at the same time, it's like, bruh, Corona already did that for us. Now we're doing it for ourselves. And since we're doing that for ourselves, we're kind of putting everything on halt. Because it was Corona's fault. Now it's technically our fault. But I'm not going to say our fault. Because we want progress. That's what I see, is that we want progress. But this is what I was trying to say in my first. This is what I'm trying to say in my last. This is what I'm going to say here. What you're protesting for, who you're protesting to, as a matter of fact, are the same people who put you in the predicament in the first place. Like I said in the last one. According to some research, according to some words I heard, according to just people in general, you know, of course, when this pops up, you get all the Black history facts. Rioting, right after Martin Luther King was assassinated, I wouldn't say probably the day after, but following his assassination, there were riots to demand civil rights, right? And so people were trying to justify, like, yeah, riots got us civil rights. So, you know, so it's doing something for all the people who saying riots don't do anything. It got you civil rights. But the civil rights got you here. Excuse that noise, but that was a bar, my guy. That was bars. Civil rights didn't do anything. Yeah, although riots did give you a result, that result was half aid. Or half buttocked. I don't want y'all thinking of the STDs, but you know, it was incomplete. Obviously, that, or they undermined it and they went against, you know, their own little writing. Because we're here today, and we're looking for something else. Maybe not civil rights. Maybe the new modes of protection. How they say, you know, what do they call it? Like, you know, community led. What was they were calling it something? I think it was in Seattle, if I'm not mistaken. Minneapolis. I'm pretty sure it's Seattle though, because I just posted it on my story. They were talking about having community led law enforcement or some type of vigilante style. Pretty much this is what I was hearing, bro. But they already had that in a place, in one spot. I can't remember the name. It was one, bro. They already got it barricaded and everything. If I'm not, I don't know why I can't think of it all of a sudden, because I just posted this crap. But they have something called an autonomous zone, or autonomous. I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know. I forgot what they called that crap. But long story short, they already got something like that set up from this crap, set up from this situation. They have self-imposed law enforcement, I guess, like community-led law enforcement. I'm just say that. But when I say community-led, I say that so weirdly because, like I said, it's the timing, bro. It is the timing. It seems we are going towards more unrest than we are going to, you know, civil peace. It seems like we're going to civil war, as a matter of fact. Like with every new day, although we are trying to make progress, there are people like Antifa or Antifa, whatever the hell. People like George Soros, the dude who, bro, see, it's crazy because these are the names you don't really hear often, but it's every time I hear like Rothschilds, you know, motherfucking, bro, I can't, bro, all these names are just, I guess I just get camera shy, whatever. All these names, bro, that you don't normally hear about playing behind the scenes. These people are pulling strings in order to, you know, produce what we see today, produce the situations and circumstances that we're in. And it's almost like they're playing both sides. And by they, I just mean people with influence, people with power, people with money. So you have people, many people. I could name a whole list, but really what I'm going in on now, my main concerns, I guess, because they're, you know, in the political scene. Donald Trump, don't hate that man. Hillary Clinton, look out for her. Barack Obama especially, bro. People, bro, never mind. Barack Obama sucks. I'm just going to put it at that before I get on a rant. Jeffrey Epstein, Harvey Weinstein. A lot of dang names that are not being talked about because we're still worried about getting those civil liberties in the same system that denies us that. And this isn't even a Black Lives Matter video either. I'm just saying a lot of people are out there. People of, you know, non-African descent, so non-black people are fighting for a black issue, which I appreciate. But like I said, when you really look at how we got here in the situation in the first place, you got to understand, although you're doing something for a very noble cause, which I respect, The people who you were protesting against, no, no, no. Oh, I said that right. Never mind. The people who you were protesting against, they give no Fs, because they're the people who let it get to this point in the first place. And I wonder why. Because it's not like they can just, I mean, of course they can, because we don't really have, an intimate way to communicate with these people, with these the people of influence, pretty much, who have power over our lives. But they see that, though. I feel like they see everything. They just choose what they respond to or not, so we can shut up. But hey, you can't say that's not a lie, bro. Like, they really treat us like kids. They just throw us a bone here and there so we can shut up, and then like that's what they did with Barack Obama for black people, though. Like, look, Daylight said it best, bro. If we didn't get Barack Obama when we got him, then we would have started questioning the system a lot earlier. This whole turn of events probably would have happened like several years ago. But now, since we're seeing racial injustice even further into the future, it just boiled over even more, because people like me, for example, I'm not even gonna lie to it, are just ignorant to the fact that this shit is still so strong and it exists the way it does systematically. I don't want to say spiritually, because that's not a spiritual. That shouldn't be anything you hold in your spirit, bro. Unless you're just a demon. Like, if you hold that shit in your spirit, like, I'm talking about, you live that shit and you practice it. Excuse my French, but that's demonic, bro. Not just because you hate a race, it's because you believe it, not because you act it out, and it's because it's almost like, when I say physically, bro, that's like whenever your parents tell you just to do something just because. That's like, do it because I said so. Like, oh, don't play with the black kids. Oh, don't play with the white kids. That's the physical level of it. But when you believe it, when it's already ingrained in your mind too, so it's not just your spirit, or you acting it out. Not acting it out, but believing it. But when you think it, you speak it, you act it. Excuse me. Those are things that can't just be ignored. I feel like those are things that can't just be talked about, because they're always gonna hold that. And it also, if they have the capability to even reproduce, or let alone even, I'm gonna say indoctrinate, bro. If you have the capability to indoctrinate another generation, or another demographic, or another large group of people to spread such an idea, that's a problem that needs to be taken care of. Who you gonna call? Not Ghostbusters.